welcome back. It's Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you have a wonderful Friday today, because I am for sure. I'm going to be relaxing, trying to do the best I can just to relax, because this is my only day off. But anyway, so let's get the story time started. So I'm going to do pieces by pieces, because I can't just, if you know, if you don't, just let me break it down to you. So starting off of when I was a child, I had a high fever since I was a child. Nobody could have figured it out until my adult life came. My young adult life came, because I'm 21 now. So yeah, so when I had a high fever when I was a child, they couldn't figure it out. And then that's when they stuck this long, I'm not too sure what it is or what it's called. I'm gonna look it up to see what it's called. But anyway, so yeah, they stuck it in my bag, and they couldn't still figure out what's caused me to have a high fever and stuff like that. Like they took blood work, they couldn't figure it out either. So bam, that's when later on in life happened. The 21 years, eventually they figured it out. I believe I was 20 when they figured it out. Yeah, it was 20 when I figured it out, because it happened last year of me. I'm going to explain more. So yeah, so last year I was 20 years old, and that's when they figured it out based on what caused me to have a high fever. And what caused me to have a high fever is me being around kids, because kids can catch anything at any time, any day, and it linger on to you because their young self of how their body just generate differently from other people as an adult. So yeah, anyway, so as time went, when I tell you, when I went into the hospital, this is the next part. When I went into the hospital, girl, I had a tooth infection. It caused a swelling on the side of my face, and I think it's from the dentist that caused it for me to have that tooth infection, because I know I had cavities in my mouth, and yeah, I got to take care of that. So yeah, so besides that, that's when it was like, you have a tooth infection because, probably because of cavity, or they probably did something wrong with teeth. When I was at the hospital, they just asked me different questions. I was like, hey, this and that. And I just got my braces up not too long ago from that, of being in the hospital. So as time went, when I was like in the hospital from last year, like a couple of days of having a swelling face. So that's why I'm like, let me just go to the hospital to see what they think. And I'm gonna show a clip as I'm talking. So when I went to the hospital, it wasn't too bad. It was just like a mini bump swelling, and probably a little bigger, but to you guys. But yeah, so they gave me medicine to take so it can go down. Girl, when I tell you that didn't work, I had to go right back to the hospital. And added on that, going back to the hospital, it got worse. So as time, when I took the antibiotics from home, things got worse. My eye was swelling, like I couldn't focus right. I couldn't do anything much. So I said it's time to go back to the hospital. Like my mom was encouraging me to stay home to keep taking it, but I was just like, it's not working. It's been like probably 3 days, going on the 4th day of taking that antibiotics based on what they gave me. Not antibiotic, but a medicine that they gave me, that's pills. So yeah, so I'm just like, no, I'm gonna go back to the hospital because something not right. I knew my intuition was telling me, no, you need to go back to the hospital. So I went back to the hospital in the middle of the night, literally in the middle of the night, not the morning, not the afternoon, in the middle of the night. Like when I tell you it's the middle of the night, it's the middle of the night. But anyway, so let me keep going. So when I went to the hospital, they was saying, they looked at my face like, it got worse. Like, what's going on? Like, what I do or anything like that, So I was in that room, just sitting there. They take their time just to get to you. When I tell you everything is registering with your insurance and stuff like that, they take their sweet behind time and come back. You can be dead at the hospital at this point. Like on the side of your face, just swelling, like you just waiting there. You couldn't see. I literally couldn't see at all. Like I was just like this with a swelled up face on the side. So eventually they took care of me, like hours later. So they gave me a room because they were saying, since it got worse, they needed to find something to get that swelling down. And sorry you guys, the video cut short, so I'm going to see you. So basically, when I was still in the hospital a couple of days, I got some antibiotics and stuff like that. They got some of the swelling down, but not 100%. So from the couple of nights of staying in the hospital, that's when they put this type of thing in my arm. I forgot what it's called, so I'm gonna show the name of it, and I forgot the name of what I'm allergic to, so I'm gonna show it as well too. So yeah, so they ended up that last night I was staying in the hospital was still like a half swollen face, like still there. They stuck something in my skin, and I thought it reached to my heart, but it just reached to a certain part, which is right here. So when they gave me that, it's basically like doing the rest of the antibiotics at home. Like I had a whole nurse to come to my house to make sure everything's okay, and she make sure she put antibiotics in my arm. So it's like 2 antibiotics that I had to take every single day until that swelling go down, and then some medicine, which is ibuprofen, that I had to take my medicine to get the swelling down as well too, to help as much as can. So 2 antibiotics, and it's not much, like it's like this long, and the other one was like this long, and then taking ibuprofen, it was just a whole lot. And I don't like taking pills, so I had to try to break that down to swallow it. So anyway, so yeah, after that I was just like, this is not for me. Like I was just like, I was excited that it was going down, the swelling. So I'm gonna just go ahead and just stop the video right here and do part 2 next time, which is next week Tuesday, because every time when I record, the video just keeps shutting off. So stay tuned for the next story time. I do apologize again, and it would have been a great story, but yes, so stay tuned for the next video. So I am out. Peace, love, like, share, subscribe, favorite, follow me on everything, and yes, peace.